If you found this reading, someone is manifesting you whether they realize it or not. Hello and welcome back to Artemisse Tarot. Today's reading is all about the energy of someone who is being drawn toward you, even if they have not yet consciously realized it. In this reading, we are going to explore who this person might be, what kind of energy they carry, and whether this is someone who is already in your orbit or someone completely new coming into your life. We're also going to look at how this connection may unfold, whether it comes through a chance encounter, a message, mutual connections, or it could even be a reconnection that happens from a connection from the past. And of course, we're going to dive into one of the most beautiful questions, which is, what kind of relationship is this person hoping to build with you? What is their heart truly seeking? And what is it about you that feels magnetic to them? Before we start, if you enjoy my readings, please consider subscribing to the channel and supporting Artemisse Tarot. It truly means so much and helps me continue creating more readings like this for you. As you can see, we have 3 readings for you to choose from today. And to help you pick, I have some beautiful images. Group 1 has the duck pond. Group 2 has the strawberry patch. And Group 3 has the staircase. Please take your time to pick the reading that is calling out to you the most. Feel free to pause the video if you would like. Once you have chosen, you can find your timestamp down below, and I will meet you at your reading. This reading is for those of you who have chosen Group 1 with the duck pond. You found this reading because someone is manifesting you whether they realize it or not. And we are going to find out about who this is, what kind of energy they carry, and why your paths might be drawn toward each other. We're going to explore whether this is someone you already know or if it's someone completely new. We're going to see how this connection could come together and what kind of a relationship this person wants to build with you. And of course, we're going to see what it is about you that feels incredibly magnetic to them. And what is the quality or energy about you that really makes you stand out and makes it feel so impossible for this person to ignore. So I always random shuffle, but usually I don't show it on camera because I'm actually quite clumsy. But I'm very excited to jump right into this reading today, so we're just going to go for it. All the cards that want to come out to answer the question, who is manifesting you? And what are they like? What are their intentions? And what draws them toward you? Let's see, we've got 4, 2, maybe a few more. All right, let's go with that. So let us take a look at all the cards that came out for you. We've got the 2 of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords. We've got Temperance. There is the King of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Swords. Ooh, the Devil. We also have the 7 of Wands, the Emperor, and 2 more. We've got the 5 of Swords, and last but not least, the Moon. If you've been here before, you know that the Moon is my most favorite tarot card. this is a very interesting spread because this person's energy feels like someone who has been through a lot of internal conflict. This doesn't feel like someone just casually looking for a connection. Instead, this feels like someone who has been thinking quite deeply about what they want, about what they don't want, and what kind of person could actually bring balance into their life. So let us take a look at who this person is and why they're drawn towards you, as well as what this connection may be here to teach the both of you. So the first card we have here is the Two of Swords, and this immediately tells me that this person is someone who spends a lot of time in their head. This is someone who may have a more difficult time making decisions when it comes to their heart. They could be the type of person who really analyzes everything. They weigh every possible outcome, and sometimes they could protect themselves by staying still. The Two of Swords often comes up when someone is caught between what they feel and what they think they should do. So this person may not be someone who rushes into love easily. They may have more of a tendency to hold things close and observe and wait until they feel completely certain about something. And then we've got the Knight of Swords coming in, which is such an interesting contrast because underneath that quiet, guarded Two of Swords energy, there's actually someone very intense. The Knight of Swords is fast-moving. He is passionate, he's curious, and he's very mentally driven. This person may have moments where they are extremely decisive and suddenly want to take action, or perhaps this is how they truly want to be. It's almost like their mind says, be careful, don't move too quickly. But their heart could say, no, I need to know, I need answers, I need to do it, I need to make it happen. This combination really makes me think of someone who can appear calm on the outside, but who has a very active inner world. And looking at the elements here, we have strong air influence with both the Two of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Air energy is about thoughts, about communication, logic, intelligence, and ideas. This person may be someone who connects through conversation at first. They want someone they can talk to, someone who really stimulates or even challenges their mind. Your person could have strong air signs for their sun, moon, rising, or Venus placements, or they could just have these strong air attributes. They could be someone who is very accomplished. They might have a high educational degree, or they're just working in a place where they are a leader and they have to use their brains to really guide the momentum. But then we also have the Temperance, and this brings a beautiful balancing kind of energy. Temperance is about healing, about patience, and about finding that harmony. This tells me that your person is not just looking for excitement. They are also looking for peace. They may have experienced situations in the past that has felt chaotic, extreme, or emotionally kind of draining. But now they are craving something different. They want that connection where things feel natural, where they don't have to constantly fight for love or wonder where they stand. Next, we have the beautiful King of Pentacles, and this gives us such a beautiful, grounded earth energy. This person could be quite stable, responsible, and focused on building a secure life. They could be someone who really values loyalty, they value commitment, and long-term partnership. The King of Pentacles is not usually the energy of someone who wants a temporary fling. This is someone who thinks about the future. This person could really like to ask themselves, can I build something real? So overall, your person feels like a mix of air and earth. Someone who is intelligent and thoughtful, but also someone who wants stability, someone who is grounded, and someone who is dependable and steadfast. This could be someone who tends to overthink, but ultimately they want something solid and they want to take action and they want to find that beautiful balance, both within themselves and in romantic connections. So as for whether or not you already know this person or if they're someone new, I think this is where it really gets interesting, because the Four of Swords could suggest more of a distance, more pause, or someone who has been withdrawn, someone retreating to rest, recuperate, or recover. This could be pointing to someone who is not actively chasing right now. They could be in a period of healing, they're reflecting, or they're just keeping to themselves. So if you're wondering if this is someone who already is around you right now, I would say that this energy feels more like someone who may not be loudly announcing their interest. This could be someone who has been a little bit quiet, someone who has been more observing as opposed to taking action. Someone who may have feelings or curiosity about you, but they have not yet acted. It's very interesting that the Devil follows this card, because this adds so much magnetic energy. This card often speaks about strong, incredibly strong magnetic attraction, about temptation, about fascination, and also the things that we can't stop thinking about. The things and the people and the energies that we just cannot get off of our minds. Now, I always like to approach the Devil with a more grounded perspective. It doesn't automatically mean something negative. In a love reading, it can simply mean that there is such a powerful pull. This person may feel strangely drawn to you. They might find themselves thinking about you more than expected. There could be something about your energy that feels addictive or incredibly intriguing or mysterious. We also have the Seven of Wands. This says your person could be someone who is protective of themselves, or perhaps this protective of the self is referring to you. You're the one who is kind of on guard and defending your ground, or even protecting your heart. Whoever this is, this person has walls up. They may have learned to really defend their heart. So overall, I don't get necessarily the brand new stranger who appears out of nowhere kind of feeling. Instead, this is feeling more like someone who has been kind of keeping their distance, someone who may already have some awareness of you, or someone who enters your life after a period where they have been kind of emotionally guarded and they took some time to do rest, recuperation, and some inner reflection. For some of you who picked this reading, this could be someone from your past resurfacing and coming at you more properly this time. This could be a childhood friend from way back when you were young. This could also be just someone who you met in passing that you really didn't go anywhere with, that perhaps it was the wrong time or the wrong place, but somehow the universe has brought you back together. You or them are still a little bit cautious, but this time there is that undeniable attraction and pull really drawing you toward each other. There is also a feeling here that your person is someone who is wanting connection, but they're also fighting themselves a little bit. So how will the universe bring you together? Looking at our next card in the spread, we've got the Emperor. The Emperor is quite an interesting card because this is someone who likes to be in control. If this person reaches out to you first, they may not do it in a very emotional or vulnerable way at first. They might approach you confidently or kind of practically or even casually. But the Emperor energy says, I know what I'm doing. But underneath that, we've also got this Five of Swords. This tells me that there could be some hesitation or internal conflict before this connection fully develops. One of you could be worrying about rejection. One of you could be wondering if they should make that move. There could even be a situation where one person thinks, maybe I should just leave it alone, or maybe the other person isn't interested. In this case, the Five of Swords talks even about deception. Not that one or both of you will be deceiving each other, but it's more likely that this is kind of self-deception. As in, you're going to be feeling those feelings. The Emperor truly knows. But there's something that really kind of steers you toward the other direction, and you're deceiving yourself and trying to convince yourself that you don't feel this connection, when clearly you really do feel that amazing magnetic pull with the Devil card. On this topic, we also have the Moon card, my favorite card of the deck, and this adds another layer of mystery. This card often represents things happening behind the scenes, like unspoken feelings, intuition, and not having the full picture yet. It also talks about having to really look within, to follow your intuition, to really let your heart speak. This seems like, for many of you who pick this pile, the connection may not begin with a dramatic movie moment kind of thing. Instead, it's going to be more subtle. It could start off with a conversation or an unexpected interaction. It could be someone sends someone a message, or a situation where you both slowly realize that there's something more here. The Moon also reminds us to not judge the beginning of this connection too quickly. Sometimes the universe introduces someone in a way that feels unclear at first, and the meaning will reveal itself slowly over time. Looking at the full spread here, I feel that this person is manifesting a relationship that brings them peace. Temperance and the King of Pentacles are especially important here. This is someone who really wants something balanced, something mature, something grounded, and something that feels safe. Solid foundations upon which to build a beautiful partnership, a beautiful future, a family, and a home together. This person could really want that kind of a relationship where both people really support each other's goals, where there is emotional patience, where love feels like a partnership instead of a battle. And the really interesting thing is that the Devil, as well as our Seven of Wands, and also the Moon, they show that this person does not want something boring. They want chemistry, they want fire, magnetic attraction, and they want the feeling of being unable to ignore someone, of that draw, about that pull, that attraction. So this isn't just that kind of I want someone nice kind of thing. No, your person is someone who wants both stability as well as intensity and chemistry. They may have experienced one without the other before, maybe excitement without security, or security, but it's a little bit boring. And now they're looking for the best of both worlds. They're manifesting their person who can really make them feel deeply, feel passionately, and feel beautifully, while also making them feel grounded. And that person is you. You are the one who is really calling out to their soul. Perhaps this could even be a past life connection, especially we mentioned that you'll be coming full circle. It's somebody you met in the past, either in this lifetime or in a previous lifetime. So the final question I want to answer is this. Why you? Why is it you that this person is manifesting? And honestly, this spread says that your magnetism comes from your ability to bring balance to someone who has a very busy or conflicted kind of inner world. The Two of Swords, as well as the Knight of Swords and the Moon, show someone who lives heavily in their thoughts. Your energy could feel like a very beautiful, quiet, and safe place for them. Temperance says that you could have a calming presence. You make people feel like they can really breathe and relax around you. The King of Pentacles and the Emperor as well suggest that your person could see you as someone who has strength, someone who really knows who they are, who knows their worth, and someone who feels grounded. Our Seven of Wands tells me that your person could really admire that you are someone who sets your boundaries. You are someone who stands up for others, and you're someone who fights for what they believe in and the people that they love. You're not someone who gives your energy away to everyone. There is something about you that really says you know who you are, and that is so incredibly attractive to your person. The Devil card here also tells me that there is so much chemistry here. Something about your presence, your energy, your essence really catches their attention. Maybe it's your confidence. Maybe it's your mystery. Maybe it's just the way that you carry yourself. The Moon says your person might not even fully understand why they feel so magnetically drawn to you. It's that feeling of, I don't know what it is about you, but I keep thinking about you. And that perhaps is the strongest message that I'm getting from this reading. Your person may not consciously know that they're manifesting you. They might simply know that they're tired of certain past negative patterns. They may know that they want something different, something deeper, something that feels both exciting but very safe and secure and like that feeling of home. And your energy represents beautiful balance. So, my group ones, if this reading is resonating with you, the person who is being drawn toward you feels like someone who has been learning, who has been healing, and becoming more intentional about love. They're not looking just for anyone. They're looking for someone who feels like peace, but also someone they can't help but feel attracted to. So before we finish off this reading, I would love to pull for you a Journey of Love card. And each of these cards comes with a beautiful love poem. So we're going to also read that poem, and this will tell us what it feels like when you finally have that first or next meeting. I do have a full reading all about your first or next meeting, and if you have not yet watched that video, I'll link it in the description for you to check out after. But first, let us get one card to give us a little sneak peek as to what your first or next meeting will be like. And the card we have is number 69, and it is Contemplation. This is such a beautiful card, and it fits so well with our wonderful air energy. There's going to be a very soulful, mindful connection between the two of you. You will be connecting on an intellectual and spiritual kind of level. There will be something deep. It's not just going to be on the surface. Even if you two don't really express it in words to each other or really reveal your true feelings in that first or next meeting, both of you will feel it. You're going to walk away and you won't be able to stop thinking about each other. The number 6 is about smooth sailing, about balance, about give and take. And the number 9 is about completion, coming full circle, being so close to what you want and having that manifestation just at the tip of your fingers. Number 9 is also an old soul number. So perhaps, like we mentioned earlier, this could be a past life connection or even a soulmate connection. 6 plus 9 equals 15, and 15 reduces back to 6. The number 6 always makes me think of the 6 of Swords, about smooth sailing, especially after a storm, about the calm waters after you've endured through difficult times. I think this reflects very well with the entire energy that we've got from your tarot card spread. So allow me to read you the beautiful poem for contemplation. Patterns break through the night, in beams of light awakening, memories of walking on sand, moments waves replace, waiting for another passerby. Reflections, time to look outward in, to find those hidden spaces, residing alone, waiting for a twin soul, waiting for myself. There's definitely mention and the feeling of a soulmate connection or even twin flames if that's something that you believe in. There's definitely a lot of depth in this connection. With that said, these are all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. And if you enjoyed it, I would love if you would subscribe, leave me a comment. If you're interested, I'll link your first or next meeting tarot reading video down below for you. As always, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen Group 2 with the strawberry patch. You found this reading because someone is manifesting you, whether they know it or not. And today we are going to find out who this person could be, what kind of energy they have, and why it is that your paths may be drawn together. We're going to find out whether this is someone who's already in your orbit or if it's someone completely new to you. We're going to see how this connection could unfold and what kind of relationship this person wants to build with you. And of course, we're going to look at what it is about you that feels just so attractive and magnetic to them. What are the qualities or the energy about you that really makes you stand out, that makes you feel absolutely impossible for your person to ignore? I always random shuffle, but I tend to not show it on camera because I'm actually pretty clumsy. But I'm so excited for today's reading. We're just going to jump right into it. So I think, one card is out already, and we have the beautiful King of Swords. Your person is extremely eager to really let you know, even if it's through your soul connection, that they are manifesting you. They want to give you confirmation, assurance, or just to show you that their energy is around you. So I was saying, let us just go ahead and pull all the cards that want to come out. We've got also the beautiful Nine of Cups, yes. And the Page of Wands. Let's get a few more. Oh, a huge explosion just happened. I told you I was clumsy, but sure, why not? Let us take all of them. We've got the Judgment card. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. We have, wow, this is the Lover's card. We've got the Five of Swords. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And let's get maybe 2 or 3 more. One and one more. Let's make it an even 10. One card just flew out and fell on the floor, and it is, wow, we've got the Hierophant. And our last card is the Devil. That's very interesting. I'm not sure if you were also drawn to Group 1, but we had the Devil in Group 1 as well, and the Five of Swords. So if you did feel also called to that pile, feel free to check it out after as well. So right away, your cards have a very interesting story to tell, because this is someone who could appear very composed and logical on the outside, but underneath that surface, there is a lot more warmth. There's a lot more desire and curiosity than they really let people see. And the first 3 cards show us a beautiful combination of air energy with the swords, water energy with the cups, and fire energy with the wands. Your person could have strong signs in these elements for their sun, moon, rising, or Venus signs, or they could just be embodying this beautiful combination of air, water, and fire. I'm seeing someone who is thoughtful and intelligent, someone who wants to build something meaningful, and someone who also has that beautiful spark of excitement and adventure within them. So let us look more in depth at who this person is, whether you already know them, and how this connection could come together. Starting with our King of Swords, this immediately tells me that your person is someone with a very strong mental energy. Someone very smart, someone very intellectual, someone who has very great control of their mind. This could be someone who thinks before they act. They like to observe, they like to analyze, and they like to understand situations and people before they fully open themselves up. This could be someone who is quite intelligent and someone who is good at communication. This is someone who might have built a reputation for being calm and rational. They may be the person that others tend to go to for advice because they're able to see things clearly, especially when emotions run high. But the interesting thing about this King of Swords is that sometimes the King of Swords energy can be a little bit guarded. Your person may not be someone who really tends to wear their heart on their sleeve. They may have learned that being vulnerable comes with risks, and so they tend to approach love a little bit more carefully. But then we have the Nine of Cups, and this gives us a totally different layer. This card is about a wish being fulfilled. This tells us that your person is actually someone who knows what they want, or at least they are becoming much more clear about what it is that really makes them happy. This is someone who may have reached a point in life where they think that they've built themselves up, they've accomplished the things that they've set out to do, but now they're wondering what it is that they truly want to share their life with, and who is it that they really want to walk beside them. There is definitely a sense of someone who's not looking for a relationship because they feel incomplete. Instead, I do feel that your person feels very comfortable on their own. They are very sure of who they are, where they're meant to be, and what they're meant to do in this world. And this is very important because the Nine of Cups represents someone who's looking for a partner to add to their happiness, and definitely not someone who's looking for a partner to fill a void. We also have the Page of Wands, which brings in such vibrant, golden, beautiful fire energy. This is the part of your person that is playful, that is curious, and that is excited. So while the King of Swords may make your person seem serious, or at least serious and reserved at first, the Page of Wands says that there's definitely that young, childlike, adventurous side to this person as well. They may not show this side right away, but once you get to know them, you're going to see that they have so much youthful, exuberant vitality within them. This could be someone who really loves to learn new things. They like to explore new ideas, they could like to travel, they like to try new experiences, or maybe they just like to keep life a little bit interesting. This combination of cards so far is really interesting because it feels like someone who has a lot of maturity, but they still have that spark as well. This could be someone who can have a serious conversation with you one moment and then surprise you with a spontaneous idea the next moment. We also have the Judgment card next, and this is a powerful card about awakening and about realization. This tells me that your person could be entering a new chapter in their life, or they've already recently entered this new chapter. They may be looking back at their past relationships and kind of recognizing old patterns and deciding what they want to do differently moving forward. Judgment often appears when someone has that wake-up call. Maybe they realized that they were choosing relationships based on what was comfortable instead of what was really aligned with them. Maybe they learned from past mistakes, or maybe they're finally ready to kind of answer a deeper calling within themselves. Your person's energy feels like someone who is becoming more intentional with who they are, where they want to go, and who they want to spend the rest of their life with. moving on to our next cards. The Eight of Pentacles is talking about daily life, about routines, about work, learning, and consistent effort. It's about really putting in the investment of blood, sweat, and tears, really, really working hard. This makes me wonder if your person could be connected to your everyday environment. The nitty-gritty, the daily things, the things that might not even be that exciting, the things at least don't seem that exciting. For some of you, this could be someone who you know through work, through school, perhaps a hobby, or from a place where you usually tend to spend a lot of time. The Eight of Pentacles doesn't feel like that random, you bump into a stranger once and suddenly everything changes. Instead, it feels more like someone whose presence gradually builds and becomes more noticeable. But then we have the Lovers card, and this is definitely where the energy becomes a lot more romantic. The Lovers is not just about attraction, it's also about choice, about alignment, and recognizing someone who feels significant to you. This card also suggests that if this is someone who is already in your orbit, there may be a moment where one or both of you suddenly realize that there's definitely something deeper about your connection. It's that shift from simply knowing someone to really seeing them through a different lens. However, we also have the Five of Swords, and this says, perhaps for some of you, there could be some hesitation, pride, or fear involved. You or your person, or even both of you, could even kind of lie to yourselves in saying that this connection is less strong than it truly is. You or your person might have talked themselves out of making that first move. You or your person might really worry about rejection, and one or both of you could think too much instead of simply allowing yourself to really just explore the connection. This feels like it could be a person who might have moments of really wanting to move closer, but then pulling back because their mind starts to create scenarios and they start to self-sabotage or second-guess themselves. So I would say that overall this energy leans more toward someone you may already know or someone who enters your life through a familiar environment rather than a completely random stranger. Someone who's already within your vicinity, even if you haven't really noticed them yet. Next, we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is such a beautiful card for talking about beginnings, because this itself represents a solid foundation for a beautiful beginning. This tells us that for many of you who pick this reading, your connection could be starting through a real-world opportunity, like a new job, a new class, a new project, somewhere new that you visit, or some kind of practical situation that really opens the door for your connection. This isn't necessarily going to be that dramatic movie-type entrance. Instead, it feels very grounded, like life quietly creates that opportunity for both of you to meet each other. We also have the Hierophant, and this really reinforces our whole reading because this is talking about something committed, something beautiful, and something steadfast. Often this card refers to marriage, so if marriage is something you're interested in, there could definitely be a path that leads to marriage for you here. The Hierophant could also be talking about traditional things and shared communities. So this could be workplace, school, a group, a community, even mutual friends, or something connected to learning and personal growth. Since the Hierophant also talks about commitment, this person probably will not approach this connection casually. Instead, this could be someone who really thinks if they're going to do this, they want to do it properly. If they're going to come at you, they want to come at you the right way. And then last but not least, we have the Devil card. Now, I always like to remind everyone whenever this card comes up, the Devil is not bad. It's not negative. It's not evil, especially when it comes to a love reading. Especially here with the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles, I interpret this as that beautiful attraction, that strong chemistry and magnetic pull. This person and you will have a beautiful magnetic and hard to describe kind of attraction. There could be a moment where you think, or they think, why am I so drawn to this person? The Devil here is talking about that magical je ne sais quoi kind of pull, that je ne sais quoi kind of attraction, something that really catches your and their attention, something that's impossible to ignore. So with our Lovers, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Hierophant, they're all cards that are very relationship focused. So this tells us that for most of you who pick this reading, your person here is not just manifesting excitement. They are manifesting partnership. They want someone they can really choose intentionally. They want someone they can build with, someone who really fits into their life. The Hierophant especially suggests commitment, shared values, and a relationship that has structure and that is able to last. This could be someone who dreams of that traditional kind of partnership, or just someone who wants a relationship that feels mutually stable and you have mutual respect and beautiful interdependence on each other. The Nine of Cups also tells us that your person wants happiness. We've also got the Page of Wands telling us that your person also wants fun and chemistry. The Devil seconds that feeling and adds that your person wants passion, wants the fireworks, the sparks. So your person isn't just looking for a connection that is only practical. They want the whole package, and that whole package is you. They want someone who makes their life feel richer, someone they can laugh with, someone they can build desire as well as a solid future with. And this is where your reading really gets interesting. Your magnetism to this person comes through as your person seeing you and feeling your energy as someone who represents both excitement as well as possibility. With the Page of Wands as well as the Devil, something about you really wakes your person up. You can really bring out their playful side. You may make them feel more adventurous. You may really spice things up in their life, if you know what I mean. They feel that you're the one who reminds them that life is not just about responsibilities and doing what is expected. We also have the Lovers as well as the Nine of Cups together, suggesting something that is a little bit deeper as well. They may be very happy because of you. You are a beautiful source of happiness for them, and they are definitely a source of happiness for you. It's not just that you're attracted to each other. You genuinely become happier. You may have a way of making your person feel like they can be truly themselves. The King of Swords also says that this person is likely someone who tends to think a lot. So what stands out about you is that you may create an emotional experience where they simply cannot just analyze away. Instead, you really bring them to feel something, to really drop down into their heart space. And for someone who tends to really live in their mind, this kind of emotional safe space is incredibly powerful. The Five of Swords tells us that for many of you who pick this reading, your person is someone who spent a lot of time kind of protecting themselves or trying to control outcomes. Your energy may challenge that. You could make them think that perhaps they don't have to approach love like a battle. And perhaps it is safe and okay to actually let someone in. So my dear group 2s, the person manifesting you feels like someone who is moving into a new chapter. They've learned from the past. They know themselves better now, and they want something real. This definitely feels like a connection where two people are going to recognize that love doesn't have to be a struggle. It is a choice. It's a choice to move towards something that feels both joyful and meaningful and wonderful for both of you. Before we finish off, please allow me to draw one Journey of Love card for you. This card will tell us about what your first or next meeting will feel like. I've got a full reading all about your first or next meeting with your person, so I'll link it down for you to watch below if you've not seen it already. But this will just give us a little sneak peek about the essence and the feel of your first or next meeting with this person who is trying to manifest you. Each of these cards comes with a beautiful poem, and that's really going to show us the feelings and the emotions behind your first or next meeting. All right. The card we got for you is number 47, Soft. I love the energy of this card. It's so gentle and beautiful and caring and tender. There are beautiful greens and lovely warm yellows and oranges. Soft is about that soft place to land, about that safe space, that feeling of home. And I think it reflects very well with the entire journey that we saw in our tarot cards. The number 47 reduces to 11, so perhaps you might see 1111 before you're about to meet. And 11 finally reduces to 2. And 2 reminds me of that balance about the lovers, that it's going to be a beautiful equal partnership where you have mutual respect and you take care of each other and you truly love each other. So let us end off on the poem. Soft. You are the softness he desires. You help light his way. You nurture all that he holds dear, though tempest clouds dismay. And in the quiet of the storm, his gentleness comes through, and in the shelter of his arms, his heart is there for you. Wow. I don't think I need to say much more. This poem really ties everything in beautifully. And with that said, those are all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If you liked it, please feel free to drop a like. Let me know what resonated in the comments. And I would love if you would subscribe to this channel to help this channel grow. If you're interested, I'll link your first or next meeting tarot reading video down below for you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen group 3 with the staircase. You found this reading because someone is manifesting you, whether they know it or not. And today we are going to find out all about who this person could be, what kind of energy they have, and why it is that your life paths are going to be drawn together. We'll also explore whether this person is someone who is already in your orbit or if this is someone totally new. We'll see how this connection could come together, as well as what kind of relationship this person wants to build with you. And of course, we're going to see what it is about you that feels just so magnetic to them, as well as what the quality or energy about you that really makes you stand out and feel impossible for this person to ignore. I always random shuffle, but I usually don't show it on camera because I'm actually rather clumsy. But today I'm so excited, so let us jump right into it. I'm gonna draw all the cards that want to come out first, and then we're gonna go through each individual one, starting with the Knight of Wands. We also have the Lovers right away. Let's get a few more cards. I already know this is going to be an exciting reading. All right. We've got the Page of Swords. And we also have the Four of Pentacles. We've got the Fool and the Ten of Swords. We'll get a few more. Let's see what else wants to come out for us. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have two more. The Five of Pentacles, interesting. And there is the Eight of Swords. And let us get one last card to make it an even 10. Oh, this one just jumped right out. And this is the High Priestess. Very interesting. Right away, I get the feeling that the person who is manifesting you is someone who has experienced an ending, a difficult lesson, or a period where they felt disconnected from what they truly wanted. But what stands out to me here is that this person's energy is not stagnant. There is movement, there is curiosity, and there's that beautiful desire to begin again. This feels like someone who is really learning how to open their heart after having just closed a door behind them. A door that might have had things that hurt them, a door that might have contained things that disappointed them. But they're having that courage, that inspiration to begin again and to make sure it is on a better foot this time. The first card we have is the Knight of Wands, and this was what immediately gave us that strong fire energy. This card tells us that your person has that spark. They might be adventurous, they might be passionate and spontaneous, and someone who follows their instincts. The Knight of Wands is the kind of person that says, I want to really experience life. I want to feel things, and I want to explore. This could be someone who is charismatic or someone who naturally attracts attention. They might have a very bold personality or a playful sense of humor or a way of making things just feel exciting. But the Knight of Wands also tells us something important here. This person, for many of you who picked this reading, could have a little bit more of a hot-headed or restless side to them. This could be someone who is not really comfortable staying stuck for too long. They crave growth, they want movement, and they want change. We also have the Lover's card, which appears right after. And this is a beautiful confirmation for us that underneath that adventurous exterior, your person is not just simply looking for that energy. They're also looking for a soul connection. The Lovers is about attraction, yes, but it's also about alignment and about choice, about choosing to love instead of falling in love necessarily. Your person could be at a point where they're really asking themselves who they really want to stand beside them and what kind of connection actually feels right for them. There's definitely a feeling here of someone who wants a relationship that feels a lot more meaningful and not just entertaining. Perhaps they were even a little bit of a player before, but they want to leave that behind them. They realize that it wasn't for them. It's time that they really listen to their heart and find that forever partner that they've always really dreamed about. We also have the Page of Swords, and this is a more curious and inquisitive and observant type of energy. Your person could be someone who will learn to watch before they act, and this is quite contradictory from their initial Knight of Wands, outwardly open, direct, and quick to act kind of energy. They may be learning to ask more questions, gather information, and they're trying to understand someone before they show their full hand. They're trying to understand even their own inner self before they make rash decisions. The Page of Swords often represents someone who tends to be mentally more active. This is someone who is curious about people, about ideas, as well as about the world around them. And honestly, when paired with the Lovers especially, this makes me think that your person could become very curious about you. They may want to really know your story. They may notice the little details about you. They may be someone who quietly pays attention to all the little things that you mentioned, that you forgot you even told them. But they'll remember and they'll make a little mental note because they want to get to know you and understand you. It really feels like you will be very special to them because the way they act around you is so much more intentional and cautious and thoughtful. It's quite different from their usual forward and hot-headed kind of energy. We also have the Four of Pentacles that gives yet another side of your person, because while our Knight of Wands wants to run toward life and grab it by the horns, the Four of Pentacles says, be careful and protect yourself. Your person could actually have a guarded heart. Like we mentioned before, perhaps they closed doors to a past that did hurt them, and that was what caused them to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to giving their heart away this time. They may be someone who tends to value their independence, and they've learned to not give their trust away too quickly. So the energy here for this person is actually quite layered. They're passionate but cautious, curious but protective. They're ready for something new for sure, but they're also perhaps still carrying a little bit of protective emotional armor. The next card in our spread is the Fool. This is one of the strongest new chapter cards in tarot. This makes me feel that for many of you who picked this reading, your person could really enter your life through a time of fresh beginnings. This could mean when you or they are starting something new, like being in a new environment, starting a new routine, entering a new phase of life, or even a new mindset. The Fool suggests to us that this connection might not come from where you expect it to. There is a sense of surprise here. However, we do have the Ten of Swords, which follows the Fool card. And this tells us an important piece of the puzzle. Your person seems to have gone through an ending of sorts. This could represent a difficult breakup, a betrayal, a major life transition, or simply the end of an old version of themselves. The Ten of Swords is the card that says this chapter is over. And honestly, I think this explains the Four of Pentacles from earlier. Your person may not be guarded because they don't want love. They're likely guarded because they know what it feels like when something falls apart, when their heart is broken, when everything shatters. But following that, there is the beautiful King of Pentacles. And this King of Pentacles talks about rebuilding, and more solid foundations are being formed at this point, because your person is trying to create stability. They could be focusing on their career, their finances, their personal growth, or they're just creating a more secure foundation for themselves, and so that they can come the right way when it comes to a romantic connection. So when I look at these cards together, I get the feeling of someone who could be entering your life after a major transformation. For the most of you, it's probably a major transformation in your person's life, but perhaps this could be talking about a major transformation within your life for a few of you. This person could be someone completely new, especially since we have the Fool card. But for a few of you, this could be someone who you know from a previous chapter, but who has changed significantly since you last saw them, and it seems like they're a whole new person now. The key message is this person's energy feels like someone who is not the same person they used to be because they are rebuilding. Moving on to our next cards. Perhaps for many of you, this connection is going to start with a kind of quiet moment. Definitely not something huge where it just falls right on your head, because the Five of Pentacles represents feeling left out in the cold, feeling isolated or feeling separate. And we also have the Eight of Swords, which talks about overthinking, hesitation, feeling constricted or stuck, especially when it comes to holding yourself back. These cards together say that there could be a period where someone is feeling unsure, whether it is you or your person, or even both of you. Someone is thinking, would the other person be interested? And should I say something at all? They're perhaps even wondering if they are imagining the pull of this connection. This person might actually struggle more with taking action than you would expect from their Knight of Wands energy when it comes to this situation, because suddenly they have this strong inkling and strong feeling that this is something significant. They can't just go in willy-nilly. They have to really address it properly and with intention. They have to be truthful with themselves and with you. While the Knight of Wands wants to move forward, the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and also the Eight of Swords show someone who can also kind of get trapped in their own fears. The High Priestess is our final card here. And I love that because this says that your connection is going to unfold through intuition. You don't have to force it. And you may simply just feel something before anything obvious really happens. And perhaps that is the energy this reading wants to bring you. Your person wants to confirm their presence and assure you they're manifesting you. Or perhaps a lot of you who picked this reading have also been manifesting your person. The High Priestess is really someone who is intuitive and really knows how to tune into their higher self. Both you and your person could be already feeling each other through your soul connection, even if you have not yet met each other in real life. There is that quiet sense of knowing, that feeling of there's something about this person when you first meet them. The High Priestess can also suggest that there are things happening behind the scenes. So even if you're someone who has been trying hard to manifest your person, but you've not seen anything actually happen, know that there's already something unfolding that is unseen, but it is really connecting your paths together, even if you can't see it yet. This connection could begin quite subtly. It could be just a simple conversation or another kind of small interaction. But that small interaction will really get the ball rolling. Looking at all these together, I do feel that your person is manifesting a relationship that gives them something different from what they experienced before. The Knight of Wands and Lovers tells us that your person does want that beautiful attraction. They want that feeling of being really alive around someone. But with the King of Pentacles, it tells us that your person is not only looking for passion, they want an equal solid partner and someone they can really trust. Especially since we knew that they might have had some burdens in the past that broke their heart, that really made them feel betrayed with our Ten of Swords. We know that your person wants to find someone they can trust again. They want a relationship that has longevity. Both the Ten of Swords and the Five of Pentacles tell us that your person knows exactly what it feels like to lose something special and to feel alone, to feel left out in the cold. They're not looking for a connection that adds more uncertainty to their life. Instead, they want a partner who they can really stand beside, who will hold their hand, who they can hold the hand of, and they want to walk with you through life's thick and thin together. They want to build with you, they want to explore with you, they want to go on adventures, they want to have deep intellectual connection, they want to have soulful connection, and they want to be vulnerable with you. The Fool card also tells us that perhaps for many of you who picked this reading, the person who is trying to manifest you wants a connection where they can start fresh. They don't want to repeat old patterns anymore. They want something that feels different, something lighter, something that flows more with ease, something that comes intuitively. They want something where they can experience love without having to keep carrying the weight of their past. So what is it about you that really causes them to be enamored, to be so attracted, to start manifesting you before they even meet you? I think the High Priestess card really answers that question for us. Your magnetism toward them is that sense of knowing yourself, but they can't really read you. You know who you are, but they don't know what that is yet. That is why they're so curious to really learn about you, to understand all of your layers, to really get to know the inner workings of your mind and your heart. The Page of Swords says they're so curious about you, and they might find themselves paying attention to all the little things that you do. The High Priestess says that your energy is deep, it is intuitive. There's something about you that really makes them kind of look within as well. You are their inspiration, you are their muse, and you challenge them to really go deeper and question who they are and where they want to be. Or perhaps you just have a certain sort of allure about you that is just incredibly captivating. Of course, we've got the Lover's card, which tells us that there's definitely a lot of chemistry. You bring that spark. You could really awaken something in your person that they thought had gone quiet long ago. But what really stands out is that your energy could feel like a safe mystery. I know that sounds a little bit contradictory, but it is a place where they feel safe, but also a place where they feel challenged in a good way. You're not just exciting, you are intriguing. You make them want to know more, understand more, delve deeper. Our King of Pentacles card also suggests that your person sees you as someone valuable, someone high value, someone with substance, someone who cannot be replaced. There's something about you and your energy that really helps them learn to trust again. They understand intuitively and in their heart, in their soul, in their blood, that they can be safe around you and they can lower their walls. So my dear group 3s, the person manifesting you right now is healing from an old ending that broke their heart. But they have the passion, the drive, and inspiration to move forward and start something new and beautiful with you. They see you as someone who doesn't just make them feel butterflies. They see you as someone who makes them curious, who makes them wonder, and someone who really makes them feel like this new chapter is worth taking a chance on. This has been such a beautiful reading. Before we close out, I would love to pull a Journey of Love card for you to tell us a little bit about what your first or next meeting will be like. I've got a full reading all about your first or next meeting with your person. So if you've not yet watched that one, I'll link it down below for you in the description. But first, for now, we're just going to get a little sneak peek. All right, the card that came out for you is number 16, Heart of the Moment. There's such strong fire energy here, lots of passion, lots of sparks. That first or next meeting you have with this person is going to be quite explosive, even if it outwardly appears quiet or commonplace or part of the day-to-day. Something within both of you, you're going to recognize each other. 16 reduces to 7, and 7 always makes me think of that intuitive connection. Even if one or both of you don't realize it at the time, consciously, subconsciously, you'll definitely be making that connection. So let us close off this reading with your poem. Love provides the opportunity to express the core essence of our very nature. It touches us at a level of feeling beyond the human norm and renders our beings incapable of a feeling with greater depth or wonder. Love is the fabric of life. It is the substance that holds it all together and the magic that opens the unknown. It is the quality that speaks to our soul, that opens our heart, that excites our spirit and allows us in its presence to become something greater than ourselves, something more than we are alone. And with all that said, these are all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. If you're interested, I'll link your first or next meeting tarot reading video down below for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to leave a like and let me know in the comments what resonated. I would also love if you would like to subscribe and support this channel. As always, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.